And to sustain the reconstruction of areas devastated by recent massive calamities, Senate President Franklin Drilon has proposed the creation of a care or calamity assistance and rehabilitation effort fund under the proposed 2.268 trillion peso 2014 national budget. The Senate is set to begin plenary debates on the general appropriation bill at the resumption of its regular session next week. More from Bianca Piedad.
Senators are now scrambling to rush aid to victims of Super Typhoon Yolanda. Senate President Franklin Drilon pushes for a 15 billion peso calamity assistance and rehabilitation effort or CARE fund under the proposed 2.268 trillion peso budget for 2014. According to Drilon, calamity victims should be taken care of under the 2014 budget. Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, meanwhile, has filed a bill that will create a national calamity recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction fund, which will provide a stable source of money for the rebuilding of the areas on the path of the typhoon. Under the National Calamity Rehabilitation Act, 15 billion pesos will be sourced from the Malampaya Fund from the government's share as aid for the storm-ravaged provinces. Senator Bam Aquino believes that a special rehabilitation fund should be launched to speed up the recovery of victims of the typhoon. Senator Sonny Angara expresses assurance that he will back any proposal that will augment the calamity fund or create a new special fund. The same proposal put forward by Senator Francis Escudero. The Senate's budgetary response should also be tackled for those affected by Yolanda when Congress resumes session on Monday. Senators T.G. and Coco Pimentel, on the other hand, opened their offices to accept relief goods and other types of aid. Among the relief items they are asking for are food, water, clothes, and medicines. This will be shipped directly to Tacloban City, Leyte, Samar, Panay Island, Palawan, and Northern Cebu. Senator J.V. Ejercito urges the President to meet all government agencies in a National Disaster Preparedness Summit to map out a response plan in times of calamities. Ejercito says this is indeed to prevent a repeat of the looting of food and water that ensued in Tacloban City after it got hit by Yolanda. Ejercito adds that this is not the right time to play the blame game and instead to help the victims. Meanwhile, Senator Escudero wants the Commission on Audit to look into the aid or donations that go to the government, which are considered public funds. In relation to this, Escudero wrote COA Chair Grace Pulido Tan a letter for a full report on local and foreign aids being coursed through the government. This is to ensure that these go through the right process and to avoid fears that this could fall in the wrong hands and misuses. For People's Television, Bianca Piedad.